we're doing wrong. So the first thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you're trying to evaluate this for the 6 trigonometric functions, not the 3, the 6 trigonometric functions, we got to make sure we can sketch the angle and determine the point that on the unit circle. So the first thing I'm going to do is if I see the denominator is 6, remember halfway around the circle is a whole pi. So what I'll do is I'll break this up into 6 different sections. 1, 2, yeah, I could have left that over there. All right, when I break it up into 6 sections, I know that, oh, halfway around the circle is 6 pi over 6. So therefore, 7 pi over 6 is going to be right here. Well, if this is my initial side, then that will be my terminal side, and that's my angle. Now I need to go ahead and determine, I guess I should have got here earlier to make sure students could sit in certain spots. Now I need to determine what is this coordinate point. Well, if I go back to my unit circle, the first quadrant, I know that this point is square root of 3 over 2, comma 1/2. And you can see that this point is a direct reflection of that point, but in the third quadrant. So therefore, this point is negative square root of 3 over 2, comma, negative 1/2. All right, so now I need to evaluate for sine, cosine, and tangent. Remember, the sine of theta represents your y-coordinate where the angle crosses the unit circle. Your cosine of theta represents the x-coordinate. And the tangent of theta represents the y over the x. So the y-coordinate in this case is negative 1/2. The cosine in this case is negative square root of 3 over 2. And the tangent is negative 1/2 divided by negative square root of 3 over 2. One of the most common mistakes that students didn't check out was that you have a negative divided by negative, which is now going to turn that to a positive. So that goes to a positive. Those divide in, and you're left with 1 over the square root of 3. When you rationalize the denominator, you get square root of 3 over 3, positive. So if you didn't get that, make sure you guys write that in, to make sure you guys have the correct information. Now let's go through the reciprocal functions. So the reciprocal functions for sine is cosecant of theta, which is 1 over y. For cosine, it's secant of theta, which is 1 over x. And for cotangent of theta, it's x over y. So now I'm just going to take the exact same coordinates and either flip them or put them over 1. So for cosine, I have 1 over negative 1/2. I can multiply by the reciprocal, and that's going to give me a negative 2. In this case, I have negative square root of, I have 1 over negative square root of 3 over 2. When I multiply by the reciprocal, I end up with 2, or negative 2, over the square root of 3. Rationalize the denominator. My final answer is negative 2 square root of 3 over 3. Right? Rationalizing the denominator. Since this is a review, I'm just doing this a little bit quicker. If you need help with that, come and see me outside of class. And cotangent is just going to be negative square root of 3 over 2 divided by negative 1/2. Again, those go to positive. Those divide out. And you're left with a positive square root of 3. Anybody have any questions on where I got to any of those? On this? Anybody have any questions on where I got to any of that? I understand that's not a question on this. Does anybody have any questions on any of this? No? OK. I know, because